Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to stand alone inside the Louvre Museum while the world slept outside? It was supposed to be a quiet night, a quick private tour after a whirlwind Paris concert, just Taylor Swift, a handful of security guards, and history whispering through stone walls. But one overlooked detail. A shift-change miscommunication changed everything. The guards thought she had already left. The massive steel gates slammed shut. Lights dimmed. Cameras blinked into standby mode. And Taylor Swift, one of the most famous women on the planet, was suddenly, undeniably, locked inside the Louvre, alone. At first it felt like magic. The hushed silence, the endless halls, the glowing paintings smiling knowingly at her under soft emergency lights. Her laughter echoed off marble. Her fingertips brushed ancient frames. For a moment she felt invincible, like a kid given the keys to a forbidden kingdom. But magic quickly soured into unease. In the eerie quiet, she began noticing things that didn't make sense. A slight scrape of footsteps that weren't hers. Shadows shifting just out of sight. Ancient air stirring where no vents should blow. Goosebumps arose along her arms. She wasn't truly alone. Drawn by an invisible pull, Taylor found herself wandering deeper than the public was ever allowed to go. Into a wing she had never heard of. One unmarked on any map. The corridor was colder here, lit only by faint moonlight leaking through high windows. At its end stood a heavy wooden door, slightly ajar. Inside, a man waited. Middle-aged, sharply dressed, his badge identifying him as a curator. His voice was low, almost apologetic, as he explained, "There are parts of the Louvre the world isn't meant to see." He told her of a secret, a hidden masterpiece older than any known artwork, a piece so powerful it was believed to influence minds, inspire revolutions, ignite entire cultural renaissances, locked away centuries ago for the world's protection. And tonight, he said, she could see it. But there was a catch. This wasn't an innocent invitation. The curator hinted that the museum board, battling declining influence and desperate for relevance, wanted to leak the secret piece through someone unstoppable. Someone with the voice to make the world listen again. Taylor Swift. All she had to do was unveil it to her fans. It would be the ultimate legacy. She could immortalize her name forever, not just as a pop star, but as the woman who reshaped art and culture. The weight of temptation crashed down on her chest. Fame wasn't the bait. She had fame. But meaning, legacy, immortality? She could already hear the headlines. Yet something inside her recoiled. The way the curator spoke, calculated, cold, felt wrong. This wasn't about preserving beauty. It was about using it, twisting it, exploiting awe for power. Taylor's heartbeat thundered in her ears as she realized if she exposed the secret, it would never belong to the people. It would belong to those who could control it, those who would profit from it. It would never be free again. Alone, afraid and overwhelmed, she made her choice. She turned away. She would not be their messenger. Infuriated, the curator stepped forward, his voice darkening, warning her that opportunities like this did not come twice. But Taylor didn't flinch. With the steely resolve that had carried her through years of scrutiny and betrayal, she said simply, "Some things aren't meant to be owned." Without another word, she fled the secret room, heart hammering, retracing her steps through the endless corridors. Doors that once welcomed now loomed like barriers. The museum felt heavier, like it was mourning her choice. or perhaps guarding her. When security finally found her at dawn, curled up on the marble floor beneath the Mona Lisa's patient smile, Taylor was exhausted but unbroken. She didn't tell them what happened. Some stories, she decided, are too sacred to sell. Later that day, fans flooded her socials, speculating wildly about her cryptic post. A single photo of the Louvre's main hall, captioned simply, "Some treasures live only in silence." Theories exploded. Debates raged. People who had once only glanced at her music now dissected her words, searching for hidden meanings. The Louvre itself saw record-breaking visitor numbers, desperate tourists hoping to glimpse the secret she refused to reveal. But Taylor? She stayed silent, knowing some mysteries live longer and burn brighter when left untouched. And somewhere deep inside the Louvre, past the echoes of ancient footsteps and unseen doors, that forgotten masterpiece slept on, waiting for the next soul brave enough not to betray it. If you were her, would you have made the same choice?